Hey everyone, I'm Nicolette. Welcome to Bow and Arrow. Today I'm going to break down the tune Red-Haired Boy for the Fiddle. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to like and subscribe to the channel and let me know if there's any new tunes you'd like me to do a breakdown for in the comments below. So today we're going to break down the tune into two sections, A and B, and then further into shorter phrases so it's easier to do. And I'm going to start with phrase number 1. We start on the D string and we do a hooked bow with a double up on the string crossing from A to D. So watch this. All right, that's really important, and when we get started going faster, it's going to help continue that same feel that this tune has so much. It's just one of those techniques that lends itself a lot to being played faster. Okay, so we're going to keep it going with a scale up the A string. All right, and then we're going to use fourth finger on the next section because we don't want to do another string crossing there. All right, did you see that? So I used my fourth finger instead of the open E. I also slurred a few notes in that one, especially when you get going faster, like I said about the hooked bow. The slurs help you to speed things up a little bit without being too cumbersome. All right, so here's the second phrase of A. So you might recognize that first phrase as being the same as the first phrase of A. And don't forget that it's got a G natural right there at the end. Instead of that G sharp, which would be totally normal in the key of A. But this tune is a little interesting as it has a lot of recurring G naturals, which would be in a minor scale totally fine. But it's a little bit of this like cross between major and minor that gives the tune its unique quality. The next phrase . Same beginning as the first phrase of A, followed by some little interesting stuff going on the E string. So we have an open E to a third finger, and then we're going to do a scale downward that uses that G natural again. And yeah, I use my fourth finger to double up on open strings. It gives that, especially to punctuate the end of a phrase, a little bit of a beefier sound. Okay, so we're moving on to the B section now. The B section starts on the E string and it's got a lot of slurs in it. So let me play the first phrase of B. All right, so I started on an up bow and I got back to the place where I started by using a little bit more of my down bow to kind of recapture that bow that I lost. This is really important, especially when you get going fast. You can easily get stuck down at the frog if you're doing a lot of slurs on an up bow and not recapturing that bow by using a lot of it on a down bow stroke. So one more time. All right, that's what you need to do. All right, it's not worth any more time than the other notes. It's just using more bow to get back to where you were. So that sounds like this. All right, and as an added benefit of accenting the offbeat, which is so essential in these tunes, not to accent the downbeat too much. We've got the next phrase of B. All right, so that was probably familiar. It's the same as one of the phrases in the A section. Okay, so now we're going to do the last phrase, the second phrase of B. Okay, so that was exactly the same as the second half of the A section, which means that you don't actually have to learn too much music for this tune. You just gotta learn the first few phrases and then a lot of it is repeated. So now I'm gonna play the whole tune from start to finish a little bit faster so that you get an idea of how it sounds when it's fully polished. So don't forget that when you play the whole thing through, you want to make sure you repeat the A and you repeat the B. So it's actually something more like A, B, B all together. All right, so now we finished the tune. I want you guys to look up your favorite version of the tune. Try and find somebody you really like to listen to playing it on YouTube. There's so much out there. And give us a link to the video in the comments. That would be really cool. Like and subscribe for more. Let me know what tunes you'd like me to do next. Have a good one.